My name is Amanda Kristen, and I'm the Transit Manager with the Broward MPO, and we're here today at the Safe Road Summit, and I am joined by...
Valerie Neilson. I'm the Executive Director of the Palm Beach Metropolitan Planning Organization.
We're really happy to have you here today, and I want to ask you just a few questions that'll shift your thinking just a little bit. Talking about innovation, we're talking about safety, and we're talking about families here.
I think it really comes down to humanizing safety. You have to tie it to personal stories. It's people's lives we're talking about.
Right.
It could be someone's mom, someone's dad, someone's brother, someone's child, someone's sister. It's a lot of times we talk about numbers, the thousands of people that are killed on our roadways and seriously injured, but you're not really tying it to someone personally. It's just data and numbers. So when we talk about transportation safety is the number one priority because people are trying to access healthy foods. They're trying to get to education, to jobs, to opportunity. They're trying to live their lives, and transportation is at the heart of all of that. So we want everyone to get home and to where they're going safely. And so that's, I think the key is to really bring it back and educate people that we're talking about you and me. We're not talking about other people.
Absolutely. And that's a great way to end that. Where do you see the biggest shift happening in how MPOs approach safety? Again, we talked about this has been a major priority for us for at least the last decade. Some people and other MPOs across the country maybe aren't where we are.
Sure. So really it comes down to education and building champions at different levels. Sometimes cities a lot of people are competing, they don't have time, they don't have to, start new initiatives and things like that. So it's trying to make it easier for them. But you need to have champions at different levels, at the elected official level, at the staff level, at the city manager level. Sometimes there's a roadblock somewhere in that ladder.
Right.
So if you are able to educate and get people to see what they can do and make it easy for them. For example, we created a Complete Streets template, and we've had 7 local municipalities adopt Complete Streets policies.
Wonderful.
We also created a Vision Zero resolution template, and we've also had over 10 cities adopt that. And then that led to them applying to Safe Streets for All grants and creating safety action plans and this next step after that. So it's really, and so we do a lot of kind of peer exchanges, site visits. We try to bring our elected officials to conferences and other things so that they can get inspired by their counterparts and see what other cities are doing, and then go back to their city and say, why aren't we doing this?
Right.
This is not that hard. These are tools that we can pursue. And I'm here with my chair of my board, Councilmember Drucker. And in 2022, I took her to a conference, and she said, why isn't my city doing this? And she called her city manager and said, we need to adopt Vision Zero. We need to do a Complete Streets policy. And now they've committed over between about $5.8 million they've received in 8 Safe Streets for All grants. They've also committed the match, so it's over around 7.4 million, 7.37 total, but that's for the action plan and for pilot projects for implementation. So that happened because we created a champion.
Yes, Yvette Drucker.
Yes.
Very great champion.
Yes.
So as an MPO leader, this is kind of a tough one. Where do you think that MPOs have maybe fallen a little bit short when they're thinking about bringing safety to the forefront?
Sure. So I think it goes back to education, but also encouragement. We do a lot of planning and engineering and maybe evaluation, but you need to bring all the players to the table, enforcement and all these things. So Broward MPO started with the Safe Street Summit. I went to the first one. And from there, that's grown. Today's event's the biggest one yet, I believe. And so that was an opportunity of bringing these national and local experts to our audiences, to our city staff, to our elected officials, to educate them, inspire them, continue to also celebrate local best practices, celebrate local wins. Because a lot of times our local municipalities say, we can't do that, I don't know how, and then we can say, this other local municipality down the street from you did it. Did you know that? And then going to see that. So we're really fortunate here in Southeast Florida because Palm Beach County, Broward County, Miami-Dade County, we're all connected. You know, we're all one traveling region. We have connected by highways, by rail, by all the kinds of facilities, but we can go to each other and see so many great things that are happening right here in our backyard. So that's a huge tool to bring awareness, to celebrate and continue to build those champions. So I think other MPOs in other areas, I encourage them to, you know, to really educate, to find those resources, find other MPOs that are doing great things, and be able to, you know, learn from each other to do those things in their area as well.
Absolutely. So is there anything that you're especially jazzed about or really happy about that you're working on right now, Palm Beach MPO?
Yeah, I think, you know, we, in addition to all the Safe Streets for All grants, I think we're over 13 million in our county. We've actually, we supported our local municipalities to apply, and so we have a lot of different plans so that they take ownership of their plans. But over 13 million that have been awarded. And so we're excited about that, but we're also looking at land use and transportation. That's been also a thing that isn't always looked at.
Not for
so we're looking at beyond just transit-oriented development, which we've kind of started looking at in studies, but now transit-oriented communities. And so we're developing a transit-oriented communities framework. Again, those tools for our local municipalities that they can implement so that they can tie into our corridor plans, our multimodal corridor plans, because if we don't have the land use, you know, it's not going to be
the density.
Yeah, and it's not going to be great to attract premium transit, or people aren't going to want to walk or bike somewhere if they feel like they're on an island.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much today. I appreciate you taking the time and talking with me. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.